So, you've heard the dream, right? Start a YouTube channel, get millions of views, and just make a living doing what you love. But what if I told you that for almost everyone who tries, that dream is a total statistical fantasy? Let's get into the real, harsh truth about why most YouTube channels are pretty much set up to fail before they even get started. Let's just start with one number that should honestly stop you in your tracks. 99%. Yep, you heard that right. All the data points to the staggering fact 99% of YouTube channels never, ever achieve any kind of significant growth. And look, that's not just my opinion or some hot take. It's the cold, hard math of the platform. Okay, so what does a 99% failure rate actually look like in the real world? In this first part, we're going to pull back the curtain on the numbers that the big platforms and the superstar creators, well, they don't really like to talk about. The whole YouTube dream is built on this brutal pyramid that, frankly, filters almost everyone out. This chart right here, it shows the journey perfectly. It's called the funnel of success for a reason. Out of about 115 million channels, a full 90%, 90 will never even hit that first big goal of 1,000 subscribers. Just 6% ever get monetized. A measly 0.6% get a silver play button for hitting 100,000 subs. And getting to 1 million? You're talking about less than 0.05% of all creators. I mean, the drop-off is just insane. Almost nobody makes it all the way. And if those numbers weren't depressing enough, let's talk about the money. Because here's the financial reality. A study found that 97% of aspiring YouTubers don't even make it above the US poverty line from their channel's income. So forget about buying a Lambo. The overwhelming majority aren't even making a basic living wage. This isn't just about fame. For most people, it's a real financial struggle. So when you're faced with odds like that, who do creators blame? Well, almost universally, they point the finger at one single, mysterious, all-powerful force. But as we're about to see, the real enemy, it's probably not what you think. Let's dive into the blame game. You know, this quote from science creator Dr. Simon Clark just hits the nail on the head. For most creators, the algorithm is treated like this vengeful, unknowable god. It's this mysterious entity that randomly blesses some channels with viral fame while it damns others to total obscurity. And so creators do all these little rituals like crazy clickbait thumbnails, just hoping to get its attention. But here it is. This is the fundamental mindset shift that separates the successful 1% from everybody else. The myth is that the algorithm is out to get you. The reality, the algorithm is a matchmaker. Its job isn't to punish you or hold you down. Its only job is to connect the right video with the right viewer to keep them watching stuff on YouTube. That's it. It's a business tool, not some divine judge. So what does this matchmaker actually care about? Well, it really boils down to three pretty simple questions. First, click-through rate, or CTR. When people see your video, do they actually click on it? Second, audience retention. Once they click, do they stick around and watch it? And third, session duration. After your video is over, do they stay on YouTube and watch another one? If you can get a yes on these three things, the matchmaker is going to love you. Okay. So if the algorithm isn't the big bad villain we thought it was, then who is? Well, this is where things can get a little uncomfortable. Because for most creators, the biggest thing holding them back isn't some external force. It's internal. Let's talk about the real reasons so many channels get stuck. See, the problem isn't the system itself. It's our own psychology. We all use these little mental shortcuts called cognitive biases just to get through the day. But on YouTube, those same shortcuts, they lead us to make flawed strategic decisions and the same predictable mistakes over and over again. They kill our channels from the inside out. First up, we've got survivorship bias. This is when you look at a giant creator like Mr. Beast, you see his incredible success and you decide, I'm just going to copy his strategy. But what you don't see are the 10,000 other channels that tried the exact same thing and failed spectacularly. You're only studying the winners, which gives you a totally warped idea of what actually worked. Next, there's confirmation bias. This is our natural tendency to just look for information that proves what we already believe. Let's say you're convinced that long 2-hour interview videos are the future of your channel. So you completely ignore your terrible audience retention data, and instead, you focus on that one single positive comment somebody left. This bias literally makes you blind to what your audience is telling you. Then we have the sunk cost fallacy. And oh boy, this one is a classic trap. You've already made 10 episodes of a series and the views are dropping with every single one. But instead of cutting your losses, you think, I've already invested so much time and money, I have to make 10 more. This bias just makes you throw good effort after bad, keeping you stuck on a strategy that clearly isn't working. And finally, there's vanity metric bias.
This is the obsession with numbers that look really impressive but are actually kind of meaningless, with subscribers being the #1 culprit. You might be celebrating hitting 10,000 subscribers, but if your click-through rate is 1% and people only watch for 30 seconds, that subscriber number is useless. It's like having a vanity plate on a car that won't start. So if the 99% are trapped by their own brains, how do the top 1% actually break free? It's simple, but it's not easy. They stop treating YouTube like a game of chance, like a lottery, and they start treating it like a predictable machine. They don't gamble, they build. Let's look at how they really do it.
And this quote right here is everything. Most creators have the entire process completely backwards. They make a video, they upload it, and then they just cross their fingers and hope it works. If it fails, they try to figure out why. The winners? They reverse the whole process. They do the research first to see what's already working, they understand the patterns, and then they create a video that's designed to succeed from the very beginning.
So what does that research actually look like? Well, it's a pretty simple, repeatable process. You find 10 successful videos in your specific niche. You analyze their thumbnail patterns. What colors do they use? What faces? What kind of text? You study their title formulas. You watch the first 15 seconds of every single one to see how they hook the viewer right away. And you read the comments to get direct feedback from the audience. You're basically reverse engineering success before you ever hit record. This is a perfect example of the power of packaging. The video itself could be identical, but the wrapper changes everything. My morning routine is just a statement. It's boring. The 5 a.m. habit that changed my life is a promise. It creates curiosity. One gets ignored, the other gets clicked. The top 1% understand that the title and the thumbnail, that's like 80% of the battle.
So at the end of the day, failure on YouTube usually boils down to a few brutal truths. Number 1, you lack the basic knowledge of how the platform actually works. 2, you haven't done any real research on your competition. 3, your packaging, your thumbnails and titles is weak. 4, you completely ignore the data your own channel is screaming at you. And 5, you're more focused on uploading consistently than you are on uploading quality. And that really brings us to the final, most important question you need to ask yourself. When you hit that upload button, are you just buying a lottery ticket and hoping you get lucky? Or are you strategically building a machine that is designed for success? The answer to that question will decide whether you stay stuck in the 99% or finally break through and join the 1%.